Yes, Hashem.
The 25th of July, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Well, good morning, Phil.
Good morning.
We have Lou back with us today. Baruch Hashem. Welcome back.
Good.
Glad to be here. Thank God. Oh, Phil.
Yeah.
Next week in Mitzvah Hashem, I'm going on vacation, so no newsletter.
Well, I gave it to you for this week, so next week there won't be, right?
Next week there won't be. This week there will be in Mitzvah Hashem.
Well, after that, actually, you're getting into vacation, you're getting into the Benes Manim, so I don't know if there are going to be other newsletters. So just keep me informed when you need the next one.
Right. Yeah, I'll let you know. You're right. I'm probably not going to have any until the first of Elul.
Okay. Fine. But you're going to use this week still, right?
This week's I will use in Mitzvah Hashem. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Enjoy vacation.
Thank you. Going to Prague.
Nice town. Very pretty.
Okay. Let's see. What did we do yesterday? Ki kasvinin amikarkari aval metaltali lo.
My marker's on page 112B3. Right-hand column.
Because vinin adrachta modin le. Oh, okay. So I think, yeah, we were in the middle of this
The Gemora
section that we're on 112B,
3.
towards the bottom, the wide lines. And the Gemora now is going to clarify whether when the Beis Din issues an adrachta to allow someone to seize property in order to pay off a debt, does the borrower who did not pay his debt, does he have to be informed about this adrachta, which gives the malva a document in his hand to be able to seize the property. So it starts from V'chi kasvinin adrachta modidin le.
Right. That's what I got.
Okay, so
The Gemora continues.
everybody got the place?
Yep.
Okay, so you want to read, Alan?
Okay. Gemora continues. V'chi akisa v'nein way. And when we write the seizure warrant, we notify the borrower. A qualification of the law. However, these words apply only when the borrower is close by, but if he's far away, we do not notify him. It says the Gemara will define close by and far away later. The point itself is qualified, but if he's far away and there are relatives, that, So, or there are caravans of merchants that go to the place where he's located and come back. Must be it's there. You're Shator. We wait 12 months a year for him. Odd war, but say until a caravan goes and comes back. Jihar, Ravanoa, Shahor, Lamar, to Ray, say Shator, and in this incident, Ravina made more often. Wait 12 months of the year before writing a seizure warrant for him. Odd as a law, as a law, Torah, maybe, they, until a caravan went to and came back from Bay Hosai, where the defendant was located.
Why is, let's see Rashi. Is there some reason why this would be? It's not clear. What, in other words, why such a long wait?
But yeah, I don't know, then the next paragraph says, but it's not so. Should we continue the next paragraph?
Okay.
Below he, but it's not so. In fact, the court does not wait so long to let the defendant appear. Why then did Ravina wait 12 months? Kosam Notnes more Chavor. In that case, he, an example, Mark appointed, was a powerful man. He Ariyua Matayua Day, and if the seizure warrant would reach his hand, before after Shar, Mine, it would be impossible to remove it from him. Low, and no way, but here, i.e., in an ordinary case, we do not wait for the defendant. A law on the Zohar, Shehor, Abisalo Soa, Shavor, unless the court messenger can go on Tuesday and notify him. And come on Wednesday. And stand in court on Thursday.
Well, I don't understand the whole thing from the beginning to the end and everything in between. What does he need to be notified for? The Beis Din has already determined that he owes the money. The Beis Din has already determined that he has not paid anything. And the Beis Din is already, and so the Malva is waiting to be paid. I'm not sure why it is that we're notifying him of anything. What's the reason for the notification? You can wait this long, you can wait that long. Meanwhile, the Malva is waiting to get his money. Talk about we have a principle that we don't like to close the door in the face of the borrowers, but really it's for the sake of the it's so that the Malva will be able to get paid. So he'll want to he'll want to lend people because he knows that he's going to get paid. But like this, if he's going to have such trouble, he's going to say, what do I need all this for? I'm just not going to do it. What?
Well, Rabbi, it says we notify him, but then it says, however, that's only when he's close. Otherwise, we don't notify him. Then it qualifies that with all this stuff about if there are relatives or caravans, but the basic principle here, I think, is that if he's far away, we don't notify him. It's only a special case where we notify him. So this whole thing about the year and so on is only a special case.
Yeah, that's true. Very good. Sorry, little deal. And okay, I didn't quite understand the case. In other words, the case with the ish. Okay, let's take a look at Rashi. Let's stop asking questions. Let's just see if Rashi has something to tell us. Psicha, a drachta. Then it says Shema Tachsif. Where did we have that? I don't think we had that yet.
We did have it already. Good question. Let me find where it is.
Tachsif, Karkas Shel Malva.
Yeah, it had to do with the. Let me see if it's the page before you. It had to do with the.
Tifchot Midameha. No, we didn't have that.
Collect the money in it. It had to do with Nechasim and had to do with. Let me see where. Yeah, just before he started. Shema Chayshinu Shema Tachsif. We were concerned. We have a suspicion that maybe it's going to.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It's going to become less in value. I guess if we wait too long, something can happen to the properties.
Okay. Fine. Okay. So so we did that. Okay. So let's start with Mar'aka.
And what's going to get less in value is the karka shel malva, the land of the borrower. Chabur v'tiftoch midima. It's going to lose its value.
What did I do now?
When you have that.
I forgot the Eastland McCarkery.
Well, no, just take out the garbage.
Shemi is Kalkulu Karkosa. Okay, so that was regarding do we write the adrachta to authorize the seizure of only land or only or rather yeah, that was that issue. Okay, didn't really do too thoroughly, but okay, fine. What we did. Okay, so now we're on to a different subject. Okay, so the next Rashi is this long Mar'acha. And what was this about?
Trying to see where Marach is.
Yeah, I did recall we mentioned Mar'acha over here in what we read.
Marach is going to talk about the 12 months. Marach is the 12. Give him 12 months. Zeshmo, that's his name. and he had a debt of his friend.
Had Ravina Shah Lamar Acha. Tracer Yachid.
And the lender was not in town.
The lender? Zeshmo Maracha. Vahaya lo chov al chavero. Lo haya aloiva. The borrower. The lov is the borrower.
No, Love is the borrower. Okay, so the borrower is not he wasn't in town.
Okay, so he wasn't in town. Then it says Sheni b'chamishi. Wow, this. Okay.
Ravina made ma'acha. As in this incident where Ravina made ma'acha wait 12 months of the year. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So the Gemora said that this is not lohi, meaning to say it's not really the din. It's not really, you can't really use this as a source for saying that this is the bottom line halacha over here, because over there was an unusual case, and there was a reason why it was that Ravina did what he did, and the Gemara relates that the Lova apparently was a inish alima have. He was a strong armed individual, so they had to deal with him with kid gloves. Ihavimatia drakta liode lo havi efshar lafuke mine. No Rashi on that. No Rashi on that. If an adrafta would have arrived in the hands of this person, then they wouldn't have been able to get the property of out of him to give the malva. He would have figured out some way to confound the system. Is that what happened? The Lova would show up and bring witnesses that he wasn't chayav. What do they say over there in the art school? I'm curious. What's the story of this Ish Limna?
They say Mar Acha, the plaintiff, was a powerful man, and if the seizure warrant would reach his hand, it would be impossible to remove it from him. Even if the borrower does not prove that the loan document is false, it would be impossible to retrieve the seizure warrant or any payment he might be compelled to make to the plaintiff. Only in such a circumstance did Ravina require the defendant to be informed regardless of the delay before the seizure warrant was written. But here, i.e. in an ordinary case, we do not wait for the defendant unless the court messenger can go on Tuesday and notify him, and he comes on Wednesday and stand in court on Thursday.
There's something very strange over here. Yeah.
You say, i.e. the next time the court's in session.
What's bothering me is it sounds like, I mean, hasn't this case already been decided that the Malva is owed the money and the Malva has made a loan and the Lova hasn't paid the loan? What more? I don't understand what they're saying over there. What more needs to be decided? Why are we concerned that he's going to? I mean, maybe one day the Lova is going to prove that the case of the Malva is really a forgery. What kind of a strange concern is that? They already had the case. They already decided that the Malvas owned the money. I don't know. Something here doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I agree. I'm perplexed also. What's a seizure warrant?
That's what that's the Adrachta, and that's what the Gemora beforehand. We were discussing this yesterday and the day before that also. Is you know what? I think the problem is that I didn't learn the Gemara properly. See, it could be that we're talking about a case with when this Adrachta is issued, at least what the Gemora is talking about, is because the Malva is brought in a star, and on the face of it, it looks like a valid star that he made a loan to this individual, the Lova, the borrower, and we have but the Lova has not showed up, and we gave him time, and he didn't show up. That was the whole thing with we gave him. He said, "Oh, let me bring my case. Give me time and let me bring my case." And then we said, "Okay." We gave him time, and then he didn't show up. And then we said, "Oh, well, maybe he's trying." And then he still didn't show up. We said, "Oh, maybe he's trying to borrow the money." And he didn't show up for another 30 days, another 30. It's maybe he didn't show up. And the whole thing is we haven't really heard the case. We haven't really heard what, if any, response the Lova has for this star that this individual is pulling out and claiming that the guy owes him money. And
the problem, though, and that's what this part of the Gemara is getting into, in the distance factor, that if he's really not nearby, how is anybody going to hear anything? We're talking about really being far away. If somebody's away, not locally, and you got to go overseas to get somebody, or a caravan to another time, another place, that could take a lot of time to get somebody's. How is anybody going to know about it? And that's what we have to do.
But we don't necessarily do that, Phil.
Well, that was the whole bit about waiting. How far?
But we only wait in the special circumstance where there's relatives or a caravan. Otherwise, we don't wait. And Rabbi, there's a footnote here that I think supports what you just said. It says, even after the defendant has been granted all these extensions, the court does not write a seizure warrant until it has sent a messenger to notify him of the situation. The defendant will thus know that if he does not present his witnesses immediately, the plaintiff will be authorized to seize his property.
Right. Yeah. See this whole sugi that we're talking about over here started with the what's the halacha in regard to validating a star in the Bezdin. And so this is this guy comes in and he's got a star. It's got 2 signatures on it. We don't know if it's a good star. We don't know if it's a forgery or whatever it is. So we need to, before we can act on it, we need to authenticate and validate the signatures that are on this star. And if so, then we'll say that it's a valid star. And then the guy, we see the guy has got a star in his hand. And, then we know that there has been a debt. And then the only question is, what does the other side have to say about it? Maybe he says, no, it is a forgery. Maybe he says, oh, he's paid it. Whatever it is it's going to say. But I think that's the story over here, that we've got this star that we have validated, but the lova, the borrower, is saying, oh, give me time to bring witnesses and prove my case. And that's the thing. So we haven't really heard from the lova. That's really the thing. We haven't heard from him. And so concern, I guess, for the malva, how it's not fair to the malva. The malva has he's brought a star into Bezdin. We've validated the star. There are people that have come forward, maybe even the people themselves, and says, yes, that's my signature. I did sign on this star. Now, please let me go to China. And now he's got a valid star. So unless the lova has no response, and he doesn't come to the Bezdin is some to litigate this case with the malva, and he hasn't come. All he's done is said, give me time to bring my witnesses. So that's the situation over here. So that's like you said, now we're ready to write this adrachta, which gives the malva the right to go and seize the property of the loiva. And now the issue is, do we should notify him? Oh, if he's close by, we'll notify him. If he lives in China, we're not gonna notify him. What about the case of Ravina? He waited 12 months. Gemora says, that's an extreme case over there with Ravina. That's not a proof to the way that we generally do. So
in the case of Ravina, there was a caravan.
Yeah, but this part that I didn't understand from the art scroll, they said that the Inish Alima, the strong-armed individual, I thought was the loiva. The art scroll said it's the malva, it's the lender. And that we're concerned that you have imati adrachta liyadi. If we put an adrachta in the hands, yes, of the malva, lo havi efshar lafukimine. We won't be able to get it out of him. But why? What's the concern that we'll get it out of him? I guess is that because maybe the loiva is going to show up one day and bring his witnesses that really. The truth and the justice is on his side, but okay.
I have a footnote on that, Rabbi.
Yeah.
Even if the borrower does prove that the loan document is false, it would be impossible to retrieve the seizure warrant or any payment he might be compelled to make to the plaintiff. Only in such a circumstance did Ravina require the defendant to be informed regardless of the delay before the seizure warrant was written.
Okay. They didn't. In other words, an ordinary individual, if you prove the case against him, so we say, please, give back that adrachta that we gave you, and he'll give it back, I guess. But over here, this guy wasn't going to give it back. This Mar Acha.
Right.
So Ravina had to be very careful. On the one hand, it sounds like but on the other hand, he wanted to make sure that he got some response from the Loiva, that the Loiva is informed over here. And he was willing to wait such a long time in this case. Okay. Something like that. All right. Right. So in any case, but that's the basic idea, that we're informing him. We're informing him because we really haven't really heard anything from him about the case yet, this Lover. He told us that he got witnesses. He told us that the star is a forgery, but we haven't heard from him. And so on that account, like you said, from the art scroll, we are writing the adrachta, but we want the Lova to know that, listen, Lova, Mr. Borrower, you better, if you got anything to say, you better say it right now. You better come to us and say it right now, because we're writing the warrant that gives the Malva the right to seize your property. So now he's going to see that we're, the Beis Din is already, planning on taking his property away to pay this loan. So if he holds that if he thinks the loan is not a valid loan, he better show up at this point. Okay. Just trying to make sense of these cases over here. All right.
It also, I think, Rabbi, if we just looking a little bit earlier where it develops the case, it may be that the borrower has never been in court at all.
Never been in court at all?
Yeah. Maybe the plaintiff brings the case to court. He says, hey, I've loaned this money and I have a star. And I don't know where the borrower is. He's in China or somewhere. And I want my money.
Right.
And maybe they're sending out messengers to try and notify the borrower that you need to come and because it says in one case he says I'm coming, in one case he says I'm not coming. Well, maybe he's sending messages from China saying I'm coming or not coming.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you take a look there, Rava says Hilchasa, the accepted halacha is Makayim es ashtar shelo bifnei bal din. The Beis Din can validate the shtar to accept witnesses to come in and authenticate the signatures on this shtar, that they're real people that signed on this document. It's a real document, and they can even do that not in the presence of the other litigant, meaning the borrower, who's the shtar says that he owes him, he owes him this money.
Right.
So the whole case starts, in other words, with the validation of this shtar, which proves the lender's case, and we're saying that we can. It's sort of like an exception to the general rule. Generally, we don't accept in a Beis Din when you got two sides, and this one says he owes money, and this one says he doesn't owe money. We don't hear the testimony in favor of one side if the other side is not there. Both sides got to be there, that's the proof of that is from the case of the Shor Muad, the owner of a goring ox. He's got to be there. He's got to show up to the Beis Din and be present when testimony is brought against his animal that his animal is a goring animal. So just like that case, we need the defendant there in order to litigate. We would have thought that in the case of the Malv and the Lob over here too. But here, when it's just a matter of validating the shtar, the halacha is that we don't need it. We don't need the Loba to be there.
Right.
But then we got into the whole story of, oh, what happens if he says, oh, please, give me time. Give me time to my witnesses are in China. I gotta go and I gotta go and get them, and I gotta go and tell them to come, and I gotta. So then we give him some time. Okay. So that's what this sugi is about, giving the Lova time. Okay. And that brings us about to the end.
It looks like also, Rabbi, there's a machlokas about whether you're even allowed to act in the absence of the litigant, like you just said. Rava says, Amar Rava, we may certify a loan document in the absence of a litigant, i.e. the borrower. But Rav Yochanan says we may not certify a loan document in the absence of a litigant, i.e. the borrower.
Well, yeah, there was a machlokas between Rav and Rav Yochanan about whether the borrower needs to be there when they're validating the shtar of the malva. But the Rava, the Gemora says after that, the Rava says hilchasa, meaning the accepted halacha in this case is like Rav against Rav Yochanan. That the halacha is that we will validate the shtar even if the lova is not there.
Right, which could be our case.
Yeah. Right. It's a little, yeah, it really needs to, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So that much we could certainly say. That if the case has really already been heard and the loiva has already had his in court and he's already brought whatever witnesses or whatever evidence that he's got to defend himself, and it's already the Beis Din has already ruled in favor of the malva in a case like that. So then we're not talking about a case like that we would wait so long. I don't think so, because it seems the whole point, in other words, the whole point of needing to inform the lova that this draft is being written to seize his property is because we haven't really heard from him too much, if anything at all.
Right.
But if he's already had his day in court, he's already tried the case, then I think that there wouldn't be any waiting, and there wouldn't there wouldn't be any waiting.
Right, or maybe waiting one day, like it says about the court session on Thursday.
Okay. All right. Very
Thank
good.
you, bye.
All the best, everybody. Yashikoya. Glad to see Lou again. Stay
Amen.
well.
Thank you.
Let
Everybody,
seen and be seen.
everybody,
All
be
right.
gesund.
Amen. Amen.
All
See you
right.
tomorrow, Meta Shem.
Amen.
Bye.